YouTube. What's up, baby? We're back in this thing again for another review. This is Q's Insight. I am Kali, and today we're going to be talking about She-Hulk episode 7 entitled The Retreat. Alright, so for this episode, we start off with Jen getting out the shower. We see her getting a text from Josh, and we can see that they have plans to hang out, to have a few dates, whatever, right? And we see Jen is, very excited to meet up with Josh, for dinner and just whatever other, plans they have, because obviously she's been getting so much attention as She-Hulk and not as Jen. Now she has a guy that's giving her attention as Jen. So, it feels good to her, right? We see her texting him while she's at work, and we see the dates that they go on, like dinner dates, whatever else it may be, right? And then I think it's like by the third or fourth date or whatever, they end up getting real close physically. So you know what I'm talking about. And then in the morning, she's, of course, in the bed still, but he's gone. All right, but she's still happy that, whatever may be. And so she texts him, I can't stop smiling or something like that. And he doesn't text her back. And um, not only that, it's not only that he doesn't text her back like right away. He doesn't text her like at all for a minute. All right. She talks to Nikki about Josh and about what's happening, and how days have passed, but he doesn't text her. And then, because she keeps on constantly checking her phone to see if he is going to text her or call her or whatever, right? And then she gets a call from a guy named Chuck about Blonsky, the Abomination. And what happens is he gets like some type of this guy named Chuck gets some type of message on Blonsky's reader. He has like this little device on his leg where it'll tell if he's, transforming to the Abomination or not. So I guess for some reason the little device on his leg was notifying Chuck about a recent transformation that he had into the Abomination. So instead of Chuck just going over there by himself, he ends up asking Jen to come with him, and just in case he turns into Abomination, she could turn into She-Hulk, right? So they go and they check on him, and he seems like very cool, very relaxed, like, he says he never transformed, and that it could have possibly been some type of malfunction. So the guy Chuck, adjusts the vice on Blonsky's leg, and then he's like, well, it seems like everything's cool, so he leaves. And so from there, Jen and Blonsky talk, and then two guys out of nowhere, bro, just come out, and they just start fighting each other. And as they're fighting each other, they end up ruining Jen's car. So in order to, get the car fixed and to get out of there, she's going to need like, AAA or whatever it may be, right? And then also the place where Blonsky's being held at, well, whether he's being held there or he lives there, whatever it may be, there's like really no reception. It's hard to get reception on cell phones. So she ends up having to stay for a little longer. Now, the two guys that were fighting, one is named Manbull and one is named El Aguila, something like that. Now, we end up meeting a few of these, like, I guess superheroes or whatever you want to say. It's 4 of them. So I'm so confused of whether they're real or they're like fake, you know, like El Aguilar, like he just looks like a regular dude, but he has like some type of special powers with swords or something. Cause like if I'm not mistaken, and then the guy Man Bull looks like a man bull, and that looks real. But then we meet a guy later on down the line named Porcupine, and he's just in a suit, so he looks like he's fake or whatever. And then one more guy named what is this guy's name? Saracen or something like that. Saracen, something like that. And it's just this dude that thinks he's a vampire. So I don't know if these are real, because we've met Mr. Immortal, we've met the shape shifting Asgard elf, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know if these people are real or they just fake. But anyways, let's get back to where I was at. So anyways, we see El Aguila and Manbull, and like I said, they are the ones that messed up Jin's car. Okay. So anyways, because she has to stay for a longer period of time, Jin is like searching around, trying to find a signal for her cell phone so that way she can see if Josh has reached out to her, whether it be by phone, phone call, or text message, right? She ends up stumbling into this one area that does get like a bar or two, and it just so happens this is where Blonsky is holding his sessions. Um, it's like therapy sessions, right? And so we meet, like I said, we already knew El Aguila, Manbull, but we meet, like I said, Porcupine and a guy named Seraphin or Sarakin or something like that. I don't know. So they continue their lesson. Jen is still just trying to be on her phone and trying to figure out like what's going on, if she can get enough reception in order to see some stuff about Josh. Hey, stop. So Jen, as she's doing that, Jen is listening to the conversations that are going on in the session. We then see a guy. We then see one of the. Remember, there was an episode where she got jumped in the alleyway, and then she turned into She-Hulk and like beat up the dude and stuff like that. Well, one of the guys that tried to jump her or whatever and try to get like her blood or whatever, he was there too. So she gets mad. She stands up. She's about to try to fight him and stuff like that. And he ends up apologizing to her for what him and his friends did, and he makes things okay with her, and he tells her he was wrong for doing that, and I don't want to be part of that life anymore. So she ends up like believing him and stuff like that. Then Jen ends up speaking at the session about Josh, and just her problem with being Jen, and then her problem with being She-Hulk, and how this is supposed to be a blessing, but it is that, but it's hard. It's making her regular life hard. And so the guys there, they help her, to give her good advice about her situations that she's going through. And by the end of the talking, everybody talking to her, she feels like they're trustworthy to hang around and to let loose with. And also, she's in better spirits at that point. So anyway, she chills there for a little bit with everybody. Everybody's getting along. We end up seeing that the tow truck comes for Jen's car, and then she has her way out of here. And Blonsky comes up to her and tells her, hey, look, like, you're welcome here anytime. Just come by anytime. She says thanks or whatever. And then she gets in the car and then she leaves, right? Then from there, we go back 3 days earlier, right? And we see what happened with Josh. So the night that Josh and Jen slept together, after they got done sleeping with each other. Hey! After they got done sleeping with each other, Josh gets up and he takes his cell phone and he basically copies the stuff that, you know, is in Jen's cell phone, right? And he sends that to, I think it's the laboratory, the scene that we saw in the last episode when they were trying to get the syringe, you know what I'm saying, ready so that they can take some of She-Hulk's DNA. I think he works for them. And then he also sent a text after that saying, with some emojis, and it kind of seemed like he was saying with these emojis that, hey, I got She-Hulk's blood, you know what I'm saying? So that's why he hasn't hit her back up, because he was like a mole. He was like a spy there to do a mission. Now that the mission's over, you know, of course he doesn't care. But yeah, so that's how that ends. So that laboratory has her DNA. Now they'll probably be able to create a weapon from it. That's it for this episode. Again, I don't have any favorite scenes from this episode. It was a pretty weak episode to me for sure. Better than last week's episode and the week before that. So I'm going to give it a 3 instead of a 2. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. Alright, so 3 out of 10 for me for this episode. You know, I'm not even going to say, well, this is this and da-da-da. Like, if you guys see my previous videos, you understand how I feel about this show. You understand how I feel about it. Yeah, you know. So I'm not gonna waste my breath no more about that. But anyways, 3 out of 10 for She-Hulk episode 7, The Retreat. If you guys saw this episode, let me know what you guys thought about it in the comments down below. All right. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share. As always, this is Q's Insight. I am Callie. Until next time. Sorry about the dogs.